Aloha, everybody, and welcome to day 3 of the 2021 One Retinoblastoma World Conference. We're still channeling our Hawaii spirit. I've got my pineapple sunglasses and my fun lei, and it's 6 a.m. in Hawaii. So if we were actually there, we'd probably still be in bed. Thank you to everyone who's joined us over the last 2 days, and welcome to those of you joining us for the first time. We've got morning here on the Pacific Coast in the United States. We've got good afternoon on the East Coast, and today is much more favorable to our friends in Europe and Africa. And it's quite late in Asia, and it's quite early in Australia, where our fearless co-leader, Sandra, is drinking lots of coffee because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So thank you all for being here. We've had 2 wonderful days of programming, including 2 amazingly inspiring keynote addresses from Cheryl Newman and Sarah Yang. And today we'll cap off a trio of beautiful women who will be sharing their retinoblastoma stories. So before we turn it over to our keynote address for the day, we have a special guest who is on maternity leave, but is a friend to both World Eye Cancer Hope and One Retinoblastoma World. In 2017, Jessie Berry and I co-chaired the One RB World Conference in Washington, D.C. And she's presented all of her amazing research on aqueous humor over the years. And it wouldn't be a One RB World if we didn't have some Jessie, and we might even get a little cameo from 2-month-old Lily Jo. So welcome, Jess.
Marissa, thank you. It's a real pleasure for me to be able to just say hello to everyone. Marissa and Sandra, you have done a phenomenal job of putting together this meeting. I'm so impressed. I was supposed to help these 2 out, and they didn't need it at all, but I'm on maternity leave focusing on this little Lily Jo here. And so they have just knocked it out of the park, but were gracious enough to let me come on and say hello today. For those of you who don't know me, I work at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, and I wanted to take just a second to let all of the CHLA patients know that I know it's been a little bit of a transition for the past couple of months, but I'm actually coming back this month, and I thank you for your patience while I've been able to focus on this baby, and I look very much forward to taking care of your babies as part of the retinoblastoma program. If any of you don't know me, I know many of you do, but if you don't, or if you just want to reach out, my email is going to be in the chat, and I'm going to be joining, but hiding, she's being good now, but hiding off screen, listening to the wonderful keynote and all of the amazing programming that Sandra and Marissa put together today. So thanks for letting me say hi. Bye, everyone.
Hi, Lily. Thank you so much, Jessie. And we know that you and the wonderful team at Children's Hospital Los Angeles will continue to take excellent care of our RB kiddos and continue to grow the program there, and we look forward to watching it continue to flourish. So thank you for being here. As I said, it wouldn't be a One RB World if Jess wasn't here. So from one inspiring woman to another, it's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for today, Clayonia Colbert-Dorsey. Clayonia lives in Gaithersburg, Maryland, on the East Coast, just about an hour outside of Washington, D.C. And it was in Washington, D.C. in 2017 when Clayonia attended the One Retinoblastoma World Conference, and many of us here met her for the first time. And once you've met Clayonia, you cannot forget her, because when she walks in a room, it automatically brightens. Her smile is infectious, and her personality and her humor are just something you can't forget, because she's just so, I'm going to try not to cry. She is so inspiring, and she is just an amazing human being. And it's been really exciting to watch her really come into her own as a retinoblastoma survivor over the last couple of years, and really become a strong voice in our RB community on social media and at these conferences. And I know she will speak about how coming to One RB World in 2017 was really a pivotal moment in her life. And we were so happy to have her there and happy to have her in the community. So it is my pleasure to introduce a dear friend and a sister, Clayonia Colbert-Dorsey.
Thank you. Again, I'm just so happy to be here. Thank you to Marissa. Thank you for Sandra. I extend very heartfelt greetings because it truly is a pleasure to share my experience as we gather in our truths to broaden our horizons and hopefully build connections. I'd like to ask each of you to take just a few moments to have a personal time of reflection. I want you to consider who you are and what you bring to this table. What is your I am? I am an African-American woman, among other titles. I am a daughter, I am a sister, I am a wife, I am a mother. I am a retinoblastoma survivor. Ubuntu, which translates as I am because we are. These past 3 days, I submit that we have gathered to rise up. My brothers and sisters, I dropped by today to tell you that we are more than conquerors. We are hope, we are legacy, we are resilient. We are retinoblastoma. Who am I? Who are you? We are born of warrior spirit. We are the hope of our ancestors and the legacy that will lead to future generations of those emboldened to blaze the way in making a difference despite our trials and tribulations. The journey of retinoblastoma is one forged with blood, sweat, tears, treatments that leave us physically looking different for the rest of our lives, as we also find ways to navigate differently as well. Fear is what I want to talk about. My friends, fear is a part of life. Certainly as we are living in this time of 100-year pandemic, we have lived, breathed, walked, and had to navigate through fear. But as this slide depicts for us, truly the only thing that we have to fear is fear itself. This slide is a military photo of my paternal grandfather. He is pictured in a leather bomber jacket with a flight cap and aviator goggles upon his head. My grandfather was a United States Congressional Gold Medal recipient. I think that this is on time mode, so I apologize, bear with me. He was a United States Congressional Gold Medal recipient, a member of the famed Tuskegee Airmen. For those who do not know United States history, the United States of America has a dark past rooted in slavery, segregation, and discrimination. During the time of World War II, our country was also in what they called the Great Depression. With that, there was also an outcry for social justice and a desegregation of the United States military. Black men in combat situations were seen as different. The thought that a Black man would ever fly a plane was not only never heard of, but thought to be impossible. Members of the Black race were seen as inferior. As retinoblastoma survivors and family members, have we ever been depressed? Have we ever been told that we were less than, or told that it would be impossible for us to do certain things in life? My grandfather was often quoted as saying, "All my life I wanted to fly." He was born in 1920, the grandson of a freed slave and her slave master. Were it not for the Tuskegee flight experiment in 1921, when the US Air Force selected 932 of who were deemed to be the elite Black men of America, did my grandfather's dream to fly seem possible? But he was chosen, like the 931 other men who became the nation's first ever pilots of color. He and they recognized the importance of the mission, and even more significantly, the price that would be paid if they allowed the intended consequences of the experiment to come to fruition. Failure was not an option. The Tuskegee Airmen and their exploits became legendary. Blue skies, red tails. In their heroics, the implausible became highly plausible, and these men made a difference. We have heroes among us right now. Those who have walked in the valley of the shadow of death that can be retinoblastoma. Those who have labored in the vineyard to reap a harvest that is recovery. We are all rooted, just as we gather today, and as this auspicious group has gathered internationally since 2012, we are changing the landscape. As members of the retinoblastoma community, I say to you that on wings of angels, we rise. We are the wind propelling accessibility and insight. Brothers and sisters, when we elevate our thinking beyond our present circumstances, it is possible to see the mountaintop. If we associate with like-minded persons and groups such as One World, there is purpose. This collage of photos represents, on the left, my parents and my sisters with me standing in the center as a little brown girl, lonely in her effort to understand what happened to her eye. Then the pictures in the center, you see me being able to attend my first One World conference in 2017 in Washington, DC, where I met this fantastic group of mothers, of researchers, of survivors. In the picture, you see me with Marissa, you see me with Sandra. Truly, I look at this group as my sisters, and I'm so happy and so proud to 5 years later still be connected with this group of sisters. The picture to the far right is me in a pink dress on a summer day with sunglasses, knowing that one day I was going to get to Hawaii, wishing it was this weekend, but it's not. And I have a patch on. This picture was taken just prior to the pandemic when I had to have my original implant replaced. And I'm proudly wearing the patch over my right eye. Through engagement with One World, I was finally able to walk in truth. I realized that I am worthy and that I am enough. Through the amazing work of this organization and the beauty of the intersection between patients and practitioners associated with this unique conference, I was able to elevate my thinking about what I had survived. And I began to move to the realm of a conqueror. Since the age of 2.5, when I was diagnosed, I have been striving to reach the point of not just acceptance, but also of resilience. At the start of this keynote, I asked you to consider your strategic position in retinoblastoma. I don't know about you, but in retrospect, when I look around and I think things over, I wouldn't trade my journey. I have, you have all a role to play. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? I have truly been blessed in this life. And I realize that life brings struggle, but struggle births hope. There will be good days. There will also be bad days. I encourage you to get anchored and something that would allow you to weather the storms. For beloved, the storms are going to come. But remember, every storm passes over. At this present moment in history, now throughout the world, we find ourselves dealing with pandemic, societal unrest, a quest for equality and justice, a period for thoughtful reflections. We are the village that is retinoblastoma. We are survivors. We are allies. We are family. Each and every one of us is able to see the world differently as a result of our experiences, specifically as they relate to retinoblastoma. To you, my fellow warriors, I say, let us mount up with wings to position ourselves as we have done here this weekend, rising to ask the questions, to foster the engagement, to seek strategies, to promote awareness and understanding, to lay bare our frailties of mind, body, and spirit. Together, we arm ourselves to bond as family, woven like a tapestry formed of delicate silk that could only be spun by the sacrifice of our collective visions. United, we strive to also create strategies leading to better outcomes for the next child diagnosed with retinoblastoma. Unto each of you, I speak hope. Together, may we not only see, but may we all be, and may we all know that we are the hope. Brothers and sisters, stand steadfast, strong, and courageous. I close just as I began. Umbutu, I am because we are. Thank you.